Hello, it is the cousin, and I am back with what will be the final episode of beer tasting in this setting.
I get a kick out of brew.
So yeah, this will be the last beer tasting video I do in this house. I was gonna say every beer tasting I've done has been at this table, but technically it hasn't, because when I did the first 3 and a bit series of beer tasting for the first year I did it, or just over, not year, but it went from I think 2023, the end of that, into the start of 2024, I think. And the table was different. And then when I brought the channel back after a little break with the Brewdogs, the first ever season of Brewdog, it was at the round table. And we just finished the 6th season of Brewdog, so that was pretty poetic, I guess. And like I've said in a previous video, all that is down to the fact that I will be moving away. I'm not going to say where. I do like to maintain some privacy. And so Joe gave me one extra beer, a really odd and random beer with all those Brewdogs we just did, and that, I guess, is going to be the final beer in this setting. This doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing beer tasting videos. There might be a little bit of a break, but it does definitely mark the end of a chapter or saga. I don't know. Maybe saga is a bit dramatic. The first chapter being the first beer tastings we did, all the way up to the first Brewdog one, and then that being that, and this being the second one, the bookends of that. So yeah, there will definitely be plenty more to come. Another beginning as this chapter ends. And now I've just gone over all of that spiritual, emotional dramaticness. Time to introduce the beer at hand. And to be honest, I could not think of a worse beer to end on. And I don't mean that in a detrimental way to the beer, but it's just a beer that I've never heard of, no one's ever heard of. I would never know it exists, and if I never did this beer tasting video, I don't think you would know it exists. Could have at least ended on a legendary beer, but alas, we have Ashfield D. Shearer. Honestly, when I first saw this, I thought it said J. Ashley Spencer. British lager brewed with finest British malted barley for a crisp flavour. Yeah. Okay, so when I put that down, the phone, the power of the last beer, best served chilled. So yeah, Ashfield by D. Shearer. And does it say Glasgow on the back? Yeah, Glasgow, Ireland. So everywhere in the UK. Well, excluding Wales, Northern Ireland and England. I'm guessing this is, I don't know, looking at it, I'd say English, but then the colour's more Scottish. Did Joe just give me a patriotic beer to finish on? Maybe. But yeah, it says Ashfield, and then I thought that said J. Spencer more than J. Ashley Spencer, but it's a lager, it's 3.4%, so that would make this probably the second weakest beer on this channel I've done. Second only to Bailey Hazy, which we did really recently, which was a 3%, which is insanely light, and it did taste insanely light. So yeah, I have no idea what this is. I don't even know what the brand is. You've got this sign that says British Lager, and I don't know if that's some sort of badge, or is Ashfield the name of the brand and the drink is called British Lager, or is it Ashfield, and the drink's called D. Shearer. Only Shearer I can think of is Alan Shearer. But yeah, it's a British lager brewed with finest British malted barley for a crisp flavour, and it's 3.4%, so I guess that's all you really need to know. But yeah, I'm just going to put its name as Ashfield, I guess. Whatever the title of this video is, that's what the name is. I'm going to look into it afterwards. So going for design, what do I think of it? It's a predominantly blue can, in a weird way reminiscent of Bud Light, but then it's got this white bit at the top. I don't know, it kind of reminds me, hear me out on this, of a cross between a Bud Light and a Stella. I think it's this white bit here. Even though Stella's not a British drink, it is a British drink. It is just the most British beer that's not British, but then a lot of things that are considered British aren't even British. Our food is, like national dishes are not British and influenced from other countries, and yeah, pretty much everything else in it. The United Kingdom is literally a remix of the rest of the world, but that, if you know the history, yeah. even the animal that English people associate with is more native to parts of Africa more than, I mean, I've never seen a lion in the UK outside of a zoo. So yeah, Stella, not British, but very British. This looks like that, and therefore this does look very British because it's got a lion there. I don't know if you can see it, blue lion, and then a blue white with a bit of, I don't even know what that gold is, like a bronzy gold. No, is it bronzy gold? Maybe, or a still gold, if that makes sense. Yeah, it does look like a cheap sort of lager that you'd get in a corner shop. This is definitely a corner shop beer, and like I said earlier, never heard of it before. So you've got the design on both sides and then the boring shit on the back. So there you have it. Ashfield, D. Shearer, British lager. What am I going to give it on design? I am going to give that, it is at least a 3, but no higher than a 4. So I'm going to go slap bang in the middle, 3.5. It does look like a beer. Could I give it a 4? Yeah, I do like the lion on it. Yeah, I think 3.5. It just looks a bit cheap and corner shoppy. That's the only thing holding it back from a 4. But yeah, I've never seen this beer before. This could be like one of those ones you get from, I don't know, Aldi or something. It smells like lager. It smells a bit salty. Yeah. Let's give it a taste, because this is beer tasting. Oh god, that does taste like cheap lager. Oh, this gives me I remember once I tried, I think it was Sainsbury's basic lager, and it came in the most basic looking can, and it looked and tasted so grim. Those were dark times. This isn't far off that. Yeah, I was pretty on the mark when I said this looks like a cheap corner shop drink. It really tastes like one. This is what you call a shitty British lager. That needs to be a category of beers. Like this is there with the White Ace, the K-Cider and the Scrumpy Jack. This is on that level. Ugh. God, this tastes like housing benefits, universal credit. Which is funny, because I actually did attend a UC meeting today. What can I say? The country's expensive, the jobs pay shit, gotta find a balance somewhere. But this literally does taste like it was brewed by Universal Credit and just given to the alcoholic masses that don't work. You know, people are talking a lot in politics about, immigration and refugees. It's like they've forgotten the typical British chav that just spent all the taxpayers' money on cheap alcohol. And this is one of those beers. I can make those jokes. I come from a very lower working class background. So I've been through it all. And this gives me flashbacks of where I grew up. I'm not going to say where that was, but it was one of those neighborhoods, like Jeremy Cole show-esque. And this beer is just capturing that. Is it poetic that we finish on that? I don't know, but Joe, you could not have picked a more worse beer to finish on. I think even the Kiwi Hammer was eccentric enough to qualify for that. But this... Damn. I have no idea why this was in the mix. I don't even know where he got this from, because the brew dogs he orders online, did he just go to a corner shop, or did he just find it somewhere and was like, let's give that to Adam? Is it even in date? 31st of July 2026. This is below a 3, by the way. In the J. Ashley Spencer criteria, this is... I think there's Lost, Grim and Disgusting, or Disgusting and Grim. I won't say it's grim, like I can drink this. I'd say it's Lost. When I say I can drink this, that doesn't mean I enjoy drinking it. Because I have drank some of the foulest beers, I reckon. It's not the worst one I've had. And that is only because we have had, like, horrors. But, yeah, this is definitely not a good lager. Like, this is not a Stella. This is like the Stella's scummy, distant cousin. That may sound like an indirect to Joe, but that is probably how Joe would describe me. Just kidding. I'm going to give that a 2.5. Because we gave the Kiwi Hammer a 2, and it is more drinkable than that, but it's not nice. So, giving it a 2.5 on taste and a 3.5 on design. Yeah, I think we can give that a 3 overall. That feels wrong. Because 3 means it's an okay average beer, and this is not an average beer. Scrap that. I'm going to remark the whole thing. But then can I give it a 2 if both scores are higher than a 2? Fuck it. Last episode, I'm going to give this a 3 because it says British lager and it tastes like British lager. So there you have it. Give it a 3. Last episode for this beer tasting chapter. Does that mean I recommend it? Hell no. This is a very forgettable beer, and I will probably forget it even exists. I hope to. But to more beers in the future, and a new chapter around the cousin. And beer tasting and RD Brewery and everything else. But yeah, Joe, I just wish you gave me something better to end on, because that that is not cutting it. So yeah, this has been the cousin with Ashfield British lager. I'd only really recommend this if you're into really cheap, shitty corner shop lager. If not, don't bother. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please like, subscribe, share, and all that other shit. I will be uploading at least one more Skyrim Legends of Azerite video after this, and this video will be coming out on Tuesday. So when you're watching this, because it is currently Friday night, when you're watching this, it will be Tuesday. I should be in the place I'm going to be going to, and we'll just have to see what happens when I'm there. So until then, it's been a pleasure. Thank you to Joe, who in this chapter of beer tasting has really funded me. Like all the brew dogs, yeah, I'd say pretty much all the brew dogs. I know a few of them I did get. Pretty much every cider I've done in this part, you know what I mean, and just a few other beers that's been on J.Ashley Spencer. Massive shout out to him, reason I started this channel. To everyone who's been on this journey with me so far, the boys in all the videos, cheers, and I shall see you sometime soon.